Hey girl, hey. First and foremost, thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for your support and the compliments and the prayers and the blessings. Thank you. If you're here and this is your first time and you're not already subscribed, please hit that little button down below. Subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I update my page. Please follow me on IG, on Instagram, Bronx Beauty Doll, all one word, all spelled out. And if you're in any of the Facebook groups and you know that you've been watching me, hit me up and say, hey girl, hey. I'm so glad that you're here today. So, as you can see, it's officially what we're talking about being 74 days post-op. I am 74 days post-op, which is about 2.5 months. And for the first time since the surgery, I can say I feel wonderful. I feel great. Things are progressing wonderfully. And I'm here to drop some knowledge for you guys today because I told you I was going to do it in segments. Because I can't be doing these 3-hour-long videos. I'd love to have you with me. But if I'm going to have a movie going on, I'm also going to have a deal with Hollywood to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to break this up so that we can get through this today. Today is going to be day of surgery and what to pack to be prepared. Now that I have gone through it, I know that one of the things I did was I looked for a bunch of videos to figure out what exactly I need because I'm not trying to bring anything extra. And I'm here to tell you for a tummy tuck and BBL exactly what you need. So let's get into it. All right. So if you're staying at a recovery house, that is something that you need to call the recovery house and tell them detail what exactly they are offering and what you do not need to bring. Oftentimes they're going to give you a list of what they want you to bring and supply on your own. Any personal effects like your toothbrush, your deodorant, your underwear, your bra, anything that's personal to you, you know to bring. But they may supply all of the medical things that you need for your recovery. So please, if you're staying at a recovery house, call them up if they haven't given you a detailed list and ask them to give you a detailed listing of what it is that they offer and they provide for your particular surgery. Because the other thing about it is everybody needs different things for a different surgery. So for myself, as you guys all know if you've been following me or if this is your first time, I had a tummy tuck and BBL with Dr. Abir at Seductions in Miami. My surgery was on December 16th, and I'm going to tell you all of the things that I brought with me to make sure that my recovery went smoothly, and all of the things that I brought with me that I didn't need that you can use on the other end when you get back home. So I also have my supplies here so I can show you some of the things that I brought. So one thing for sure is you are going to need some chucks. You are going to be bleeding. You are going to have fluids coming out of you, and you do not want those fluids to be, if you are staying in a hotel or an Airbnb or someone else's place, you don't want those fluids everywhere. So please, 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 please bring chucks. Depending on how long you're staying is how many chucks I would suggest that you need. Now, a lot of recovery homes and my nurse even recommended that I bring about 50 chucks. 50 chucks is excessive, I will say. I stayed for 9 days and I probably used a total of maybe 25 chucks. And by days, 6, 7, 8, 9, I really didn't need the chucks. They were just there being replaced. The chucks are something that you are going to lay out, and I'm going to talk to you about that on day of surgery to prep your room for when you come back, because you can't do nothing when you come back from surgery. So you need to make sure you have everything together prior to surgery. So yes, you are going to need some chucks. Depending on what you're getting done and how long you're staying is how I would determine how many you pack. I think 50 are excessive. But they may not be for you. I would say pack anywhere between 25 and 50 chucks. 50 is the most because, again, depending on how much fluid, depending on who you go, I went to Seductions. Dr. Abir gives you a drain with a tummy tuck. Some doctors let you free drain. Some, give you several drains. I had one drain with my tummy tuck. And so I didn't have that scene where you see the dolls and the fajas and they're bleeding through it. I didn't have that at all. All of my fluid was going out of the drain. None of my incisions leaked. None of my incisions were cut open because they're not supposed to do that no more. But yeah, so I would bring chucks, but I don't think you need as many. So chucks, Poise pads. Poise pads or any kind of, you know, the pad liners, they're very, very thick. I highly recommend them, but I only recommend you needing about maybe 10 of them. I brought the whole daggum pack. I didn't need it. 10 is sufficient. And what I use them for is on the sides of my incision where I got the tummy tuck. It was sore. And they put me in a faja after I was in my binder. My binder I was in directly after surgery. After the post-op appointment, they put me in my first faja to help me with my compression. That compression, because I still had the drain, obviously, first day out of post-op, that compression on your sides, on that incision, can feel rather raw. And putting the Poise pads over the drain, over the incisions on either one of my sides prior to pulling my faja up made all the world of difference. It really made all the world of difference. So I highly recommend bringing Poise pads. I didn't need them for a period. I didn't need them for any other bodily fluid. I needed the Poise pads to pad the areas that were sensitive because I had just gotten surgery. So if you need to line your entire incision with Poise pads after you've cleaned it, disinfected it, and wrapped it up, do so. Please do so. Okay. Some of the medical things that are absolutely necessary that you can't do without. One of them is, you see here we have this rolled gauze. The rolled gauze was necessary because you don't take off the wrappings on your tummy tuck until they fall off naturally. You're not actively trying to work it off. But you do want to clean the area all around as much as you can. In the shower, you're going to have your back to the stall, to the shower head. You're not going to have the water directly on there, but there's still going to be runoff. You want to pat it dry, and you want to take this roll gauze and you want to wrap it around your entire incision, your entire waist, because it just provides like an extra layer of padding and keeping things kind of clean and sterile, so it's not a lot of friction when you're in your either binder or your faja. Another thing I highly recommend picking up is these gauze pads. These gauze pads were everything. Again, I use these gauze pads on the sides of my incision as padding. They helped greatly. And your belly button as well. Different sizes, big, large, small, whatever it is that you need. Big, large, small. Large, medium, small. Whatever size you need, but these gauze pads were beautiful. And you can get the off-brand. Don't trip because I got Band-Aid brand here right now. I mean, I like this because it says 8 thick layers of cushioning for extra comfort, and it was highly absorbent, and it really, really was. I loved having that there. It provided padding, so please pick yourself up some of those. You need them. So another thing that you're going to need is Hybiclens or antiseptic skin cleaner. So as you can see, I have a Walgreens brand here. I brought a giant bottle with me. Don't do that. You don't need a giant bottle. You don't. This is sufficient because a lot goes a long way. Okay, and you're going to use this when it comes to cleaning your belly button and cleaning that incision area when it's not raw, when it's not pussing and healing and clearly open. You're going to use this to keep this area clean, as well as you really shouldn't be using any kind of fragrant soaps at this point after, after your surgery, because that fragrance, the stuff that's in the perfume and things like that, it can be irritant, it can cause an infection, it can cause problems. You don't want that. So you need to be using your Dial antibacterial soap, or you need to really be using something like this to clean your body when you're in the shower, because even the runoff of something different, fragrant or flowery or whatever, going into that area isn't something that you really want to do. So I highly recommend picking that up. You don't need a big old bottle. This is an 8-ounce bottle gotten, from Walgreens. I'm certain Walmart, CVS, and a whole host of pharmacies and department stores alike have similar products under their brand. So please pick yourself up some of that. Another thing that I had with me that really helped was both of these products. So this is a Bactine, Bactine Mix cleaning spray, pain relieving cleaning spray. And then this was a Dermaplast, which is first aid. It's also a cleaning spray, antiseptic and pain relieving spray. I used both of these. I used both of these to clean my incision area once the tape fell off naturally, and my belly button once it naturally like came off. Anyone who's had kids before, you know, when they're babies and they're firstborn, they have the belly button and you have to wait for it to fall off before you can really mess with it. It's similar when you're getting a tummy tuck. You're going to have to wait for that tape to naturally fall off your belly button area. So both of these were a great big help. I used these to clean the area. I'll be honest, I did not use peroxide, even though I did bring a big old thing of peroxide. I didn't need it. Don't bring it. So both of these products are something that I highly recommend that you will need. Paper tape. Just going to show you my little roll here of paper tape. It's a 3M product. Again, I'm sure that there are other versions of it, but this one I got from 3M. I had both this smaller one and one that's a lot longer as well. You're going to use this to keep the tape, to keep the gauze and the rolled gauze that you put around your incisions in place. You want to use this tape and not any other kind of tape, because this paper tape has the ability to be taken off of the skin without a lot of issues. It's not going to tear. It's not going to cause a lot of friction. It's not going to leave a lot of stickiness behind. If you're having difficulty getting this off your skin, I always say apply a little oil to it, and it's going to come off like butter. But this is the kind of paper tape you want to use. You do not want to use something that, you don't want to use duct tape or packing tape. Don't get ghetto with the tape. Spend the money, get the right tape, because it means a lot. So please bring your paper tape. Let's see, a black sheet. I brought a black sheet when I was down there and we went to the Target. I picked one up and I bought it because I was afraid of the blood and all of that stuff, and I didn't want to mess up the Airbnb that we were staying in. So I liked having a dark colored sheet. If you have one at home, bring it with you. If not, pick one up. Cheap. Don't get nothing expensive, and don't get no queen size or whatever. You don't need to use it for your own bed or whatever. This is strictly for surgery. Get the cheapest one they have and get it in a twin or a full at that. But something that's going to cover the area you are on. Do not forget your slippers, and make sure your slippers have good grip on them. Please, 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 please. Now is not the time to try and be cute and be in an old kitten heel or anything along those lines. You need to be in something that's going to make sure that when you put your feet down on the floor, you're steady and not slipping. Bring your slippers. Tank tops. Black tank tops. Do I have one right here? I have one of my black tank tops here. And I were just talking basic. I went to Walmart and I picked up a bunch of their basic tank tops. We're talking, they're $2 or $3 each. I brought 4 or 5 with me because for myself personally, I like to put on a fresh tank top each day. I didn't want to be in something more than one day if I was changing everything. So bring at least 4 or 5 tank tops with you. Bring some loose gowns, really loose, really nothing tight fitting, pajama gowns. Walmart had a bunch for $9.99, $9.98, because you know they got them crazy Indian numbers. $9.98. I bought 2 of those gowns down with me. I happened to have 4 hospital gowns and my robe. That was it. That's all you need. Now, if you're going to Miami and you know you're going to be there and you're going to be having some fun before you go and you do anything else, bring the clothes you need for that. But I'm telling you, when it comes to recovery, you're not changing clothes every day like you think you are. You're going to change your tank top once you get out of the shower, and you're going to be in your faja or your garment, whatever it is, after your shower on a daily basis, because you're trying, you can skip a shower a day or two. We'll get to that in a minute. But you're not going to need a lot of stuff with you. So please bring tank tops. Please bring loose gowns. 1 or 2 loose gowns. You don't really need that many. And please bring a robe. Bring something that's going to keep you warm. I highly, highly suggest that if you don't have a thick, warm robe, get a thick, warm robe, because you are cold after surgery. You are cold, and even though you're down in Miami, you're going to want something that really, really covers you up and keeps you warm. You don't want to be freezing or anything along those lines. So if you got something thin and skimpy, leave it at home. Get yourself something thick, something that's going to keep you warm, something that comes down past your knees too. Don't get no booty one. No. cover yourself up. Okay? So tank tops, gowns that open to the front, one gown. You only need one gown or something along those lines that open to the front. So get yourself a gown. Make sure you have your tank tops. Make sure you have your robes. Make sure you have your slippers. Make sure you have compression socks. Compression socks are necessary. I brought 10 pair. I'm glad I brought 10 pair because my surgery sister forgot hers, so I ended up giving her like 4 or 5 of mine. They're gonna give you compression socks on the day of surgery, but they're the long white medical ones that come damn near up to your mid-thigh. So make sure you bring your own as well, because again, much like the tank tops, I like changing every day. I wasn't trying to be in the same socks, you know, for more than 2 days. That's just me. So bring your socks. Last thing, when it comes down to clothes, please bring clothes for you to go home in. So for myself, I didn't really care how I looked when I went home, and so I packed my my gowns accordingly, and I had 2 Christmas gowns because I flew home on Christmas Eve. And so the one that I flew home when was a flamingo on it. It had Christmas lights all over it. That said flamingo on there, you know. I didn't care how I looked because I figured I'm getting on the plane, I'm going home to my man. It doesn't matter. I just had surgery. But my surgery sister, she brought a cute little sweatsuit, you know, Dawn with her, and I was like, I should have done that. Cute little sweatsuit join would have been great. But it was loose fitting too. Don't bring nothing tight. Again, you're not showing off your body. Now you are in recovery for the next recovery for the next 6 months, let's be real. So you don't need to go crazy on what you bring in terms of your clothes, unless, like I said, you know, you're already going to Miami to do whatever you want to do and have your little bit of fun. No drinking, no drugs. Don't do nothing to get yourself canceled, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, if you know you're going there, bring your clothes for that. But on your stay there, you need a robe, you need 4 or 5 tank tops because you're going to wash them. So you're going to rewash these things. You need your compression socks. I recommend bringing at least 5 pair. I brought 10. I was prepared. My cup was full of oil. I had some for my surgery sister. Bring your gowns and bring your slippers. Next. Okay, next, you're going to need, if you are getting a BBL, I can't stress this enough. The BBL mattress that I brought was my lifesaver. If I did not have that, I don't know what I would have done, okay? Bring something you can sleep in comfortably. You cannot lay on your butt. You don't want to risk your fat that has just been grafted to your hips and your behind or wherever else from messing up. Don't go down to Miami and get a tummy tuck and a BBL and think, I'm just going to lay on my stomach. You're not going to lay on your stomach. Your tummy is tight. It is sore. It is tender, and it can't tolerate it. There aren't enough pillows in the world, and they don't make pillows soft enough. I'm speaking from experience, and I'm speaking with love. Bring your behind something that you can comfortably lay in. Be it a BBL mattress, be it a gravity chair, be it that avocado. Bring yourself something. Because one of the worst things that you can do for your recovery is not have something that you can comfortably sleep in. I promise you. Please bring something. I brought my BBL mattress. Lifesaver. I tried to get on the bed directly after surgery, and my nurse, she put me there, and let me tell you something, the pain was so excruciating. That woke me up more than anything. That daze, that funk I felt from the anesthesia got knocked right out of me once my stomach said, is you crazy? Were you where we were when what happened? Get off your tummy, girl! And I crawled onto my BBL mattress. My nurse came back, and she was like, I can't believe you got in that mattress all by yourself. I said, pain moved me swiftly. So please bring some to be in. Okay? Arnica gel and arnica oil. This was not the brand that I brought down with me. This was an extra one that I bought when I got back. But this is perfectly good arnica gel. And this is the brand of arnica oil that I have been using. This is crucial. This is pain relieving gel and oil, and you need it after your surgery, particularly prior to your massages. Prior to my massage, I would get up at least an hour and get out of my faja, eat something substantial, eggs, a few pieces of sausage, some toast, drink a crap ton of juice and water, like a crap ton. So much you couldn't believe it, just trying to funnel it. In 20 minutes prior to my masseuse coming, Nini, by the way, I'll put her link in there. She was amazing. Prior to her coming, I took my pain medicine. I took Tylenol 8 if it wasn't time for my scheduled narco. And I took a nausea pill, and I slathered the gel as much as I could all over my back and all over my stomach where she was going to be massaging. Reason for this is it kind of acts like a numbing pain reliever prior, and it will get you prepared for the massage. Those two Johns are crucial. Do not go without them. Please, 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 please bring your arnica gel and your arnica oil. Please do not hesitate for that. Tylenol 8. Yes, you are going to get narcos. Yes, you are going to get your medication. But for some unforeseen reason, if the pharmacy is low or they can't get it that right away or anything along those lines, bring your Tylenol 8. Bring your Tylenol 8 because you'll have it so that you can start something right away while your meds are getting filled, because they're not going to give you the script until you are having the surgery. Reason why? It's a narcotic, and they can't give out narcotics and then turn around and you end up not having surgery, but you got a prescription for narcotics. It's dangerous, and they ain't trying to get themselves hurt, so I get it. Bring Tylenol 8. Bring it and use it directly out of surgery. Do not hesitate to use it prior to your massages. Do not hesitate to stay on top of your pain. Don't let that pain get you and you're chasing it. Stay on top of it, please. Tylenol 8. Ace bandages. I used Ace bandages again for that padding. My incision, that whole area was so tender to me. It was so tender. I needed as much everything I could because the friction under my faja, the tank top is not enough to reduce friction. It was the Poise pads. It was this padded gauze. It was the Ace bandages then wrapped around the whole thing. I didn't even use them so much in terms of helping to pull in my waist as some people do for compression. It was about keeping my incision from feeling tender and raw and rubbing underneath my faja. So please pick yourself up some Ace bandages and pack those as well. I recommend, feel like I paid more than I really need to for it. Like, it was not necessary for me to pay that much when I could have gone on Amazon and had them for much cheaper. So I recommend highly bringing them with you. But I will say this. Everyone is different, so I can't say for certain you're going to use them while you're down there. I didn't use anything but my backboard while I was down there because I was too sore, still had the drain, incision was healing to be putting an ab board or anything on top. But once I got back, I needed all of those items. So if you think that you might need those items, like I said, I used my backboard while I was down there, nothing else. I highly recommend bringing that with you instead of purchasing down there when you're getting your fajas or whatever, because the markup is just kind of high. It can be. Let me see. If you take medication, please bring your medication. Don't forget your medication. Don't forget your medication, especially if it's high blood pressure medicine. Don't forget your medication. Take it and have it. Pack it right now. Go do it. Cough drops. These cough drops were a lifesaver. Yes. Not because my throat was killing me because of the tube and anesthesia. I know that that's what happens to a lot of girls. For myself personally, I needed the cough drops because the tummy tuck comes with a muscle repair. And let me tell you something about that muscle repair. You can't cough, you can't laugh, you can't sneeze, you can't, don't even fart wrong if you can even fart because everything is so tight. Like, it hurts. And as soon as I started feeling that tickle in my throat, I would put a cough drop in my mouth because I was trying not to cough no matter what, because it's just, the pain is unreal and it's something that you can't even stop yourself from doing. It seizes you up. Because you're coughing. It's an involuntary thing. So please, please, please pack your cough drops. Let me see. What else? I've seen girls say back scratcher. I didn't need one. But if you think you need one, bring your back scratcher. Deodorant. Do you know a girl went all the way down to Miami and realized like I didn't have deodorant? I couldn't believe it. I had to get my nurse to go and get me deodorant. Like, I can't believe I forgot it. Like, what was I thinking? I don't know. But yes, pack your deodorant, because regardless if you ain't doing much, you still gonna be funky. You won't be sitting there toning and whatnot while people are trying to help you recover. So bring your deodorant, okay? And last but not least, please bring your money. Bring your cash. The ATM fees are high. I'm not saying bring thousands of dollars, but as I've said in a previous video, I brought down roughly $1,000, I believe. I took out $1,500. I believe I actually went down with something closer to like maybe $1,100, $1,200, and I used it all. I used every last bit of it, between paying for your package and your COVID test and tipping my nurse and buying food and getting my fajas. All of that came out of that money that I brought with me, so I didn't have to touch what I already had in the bank. So I'm actually going to stop the video here because this has already been long and I'm running out of time. But I really do appreciate you being here with me, and I hope that this video was helpful. I think that I covered anything I didn't cover. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I am very, very interactive on all of my Facebook pages, on all of the pages, the surgery groups that I'm in. I answer all questions. I have no, I have nothing better to do than help y'all, because it was a great help to me for the girls who had done this prior, the dolls who had done this prior. So if you haven't subscribed by now and you're still watching, go ahead and subscribe, girl. You know I helped you out. You know I was a blessing, and I want to continue to be a blessing to you. Please subscribe. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I upload my next video. Next video is definitely going to be on day of surgery and how that goes and how to prepare. I love you all. Be blessed, and thank you for following me. Bonus material. Have a few more seconds. I just wanted to show you my shape because I am not currently wearing my faja right now. So I just wanted to show you what I'm working with and how good I feel, and show you my incision.